hey, arrest this man. He owes me money. Put him in debtor's jail. When the master heard that the man he forgave millions couldn't forgive $10, he said, arrest this man, take him outside where there's weeping and gnashing of teeth. Take him to the dungeon and cut him in half. Now, Jesus didn't know the happily ever after. He didn't have any parables that end like that. They mostly end with, cut him in half. Cut him asunder in the old King James. Is he forgiven? No. If you are forgiven by God, but you do not forgive, you will not be forgiven. It's a hard call. You will do more damage to yourself. And let me give you a good definition of forgiveness. Forgiveness is, I relinquish my legal right to hurt you for hurting me. The old covenant was an eye for an eye. You give me an insult, I got one back at you. You steal $10, I steal $10. Yeah, that's the way it goes. What you wrong me, I'm going to make restitution until it's even. Forgiveness says that we're not going to be even. You hurt me, and I'm not going to hurt you. I'm going to move on with my life. I'm going to forgive it, and I'm going to go live the blessed life. I'm not going to harbor ill will. I'm not going to wish some hex on you. You can do what you want. If you want to repent, maybe we can reconcile. If you want to change, maybe we can work through this difficulty and we can be friends. And who knows? Maybe I can begin to trust you again. But trust and reconciliation are not forgiveness. You might need forgiveness to get there, but forgiveness is very simple. I'm not going to hurt you. In the book of Genesis chapter 49, there's the story of two brothers, Simeon and Levi. Their sister Diana was raped by a man named Shechem. Shechem ran a whole city. He was a prince. And after he did the act, he wanted to marry the girl. And so he brought all of the men of the city, and they had a lot of soldiers. And they came to Jacob, the father of the three of them, and said, we want to marry your daughter, Diana. Let's make a covenant between our people. And the father didn't know what to say. Here, his daughter's weeping and in shambles, and he didn't know what to do. So he waited until Simeon and Levi came back, and they heard what happened. Simeon and Levi go to Shechem and say, listen, you want to marry our sister? Fine. But we're in covenant with God, and all the men are circumcised. So you have to be circumcised. Good news, bad news. You don't know what circumcision is? Look it up on your own. Not appropriate for something you don't. But grown men do not want to get circumcised. Okay. And so he said, all right, we'll make a covenant, we'll make a pact, we'll all get circumcised. All the men of the city got circumcised. On the third day, when they're in the most pain, Simeon and Levi waltzed right in, and the two of them shanked everybody in the city. They massacred the city. It was a bloodbath. They killed Shechem. They killed his father. They killed all the men of the city. And then they took all the flocks. They took all the servants, and they brought it back to their house. And their father says, what have you guys done? They said, what did you do? You didn't do anything. At least we tried to stand up for our sister. And then he says, but why did you do that to the animals? Simeon and Levi got such bloodlust. They not only killed the men, they took time to hamstring the horses. They just cut animals up. I mean, it was a little twisted what they did. In Genesis chapter 49, at the end of their life, when their father is blessing each of the sons, he then comes to Simeon and Levi and he doesn't bless them. He says, I curse you because you've been cruel. I don't even want to be around you because you're so cruel. David could have burned down his blessing, but he was patient, kind, and loving. He was forgiving. He didn't repay Nabal even for even. He let it go, and then he got so much more. Will you trust God with the people that have hurt you? Will you trust